Okay, so get ready, because today we're diving into some seriously cool cancer research.
Really, really
A
cool.
brand new study just came out just yesterday, actually, and it's it's blowing my mind a little bit.
Yeah.
It's about how sneaky cancer cells can be, like how they're hiding from the immune system. And get this, they might be using something we totally didn't expect to help them hide. Lipids.
Yeah, it really makes you think differently about lipids in cancer.
Right.
I mean, we've always known they were important for energy, right? Like
Yeah.
fueling tumor growth.
Totally.
But this research shows there's a whole other side to the story, a whole new layer of how complex this is.
Yeah, you usually think of lipids as like the thing you're trying to cut back on, not something cancer cells are using to like outsmart us.
Okay.
Can you kind of start us off with the basics? How does our immune system usually find and destroy those cancer cells in the first place?
So picture this. Your immune system is like a crack team of security guards, right? They're constantly patrolling, looking for anything suspicious. And every single cell in your body has this membrane around it with these little chemical ID tags on it.
Okay.
Healthy cells, they've got the right tags. It's like their ID checks out. They're good to go.
Mhm.
But cancer cells, they've often got different tags. It's like they're waving these little red flags that scream, danger, get rid of me.
Okay, so the immune system sees those red flags and it's like, all right, time to neutralize the threat. But where do the lipids come in? And what's with this whole hiding thing?
Well, that is the million-dollar question, isn't it? This research is all about a particular kind of lipid called a glycosphingolipid.
Hold on, glycosphingolipids?
Yeah, you got it.
Is that something I should know?
Probably not unless you're deep in the biochemistry world. Don't worry, they weren't exactly a household name until, well, yesterday.
Okay.
The big deal is they seem to be super important in how cancer cells talk to the immune system.
Okay. They're important, but how? Spill the tea.
So the
Okay.
study, it suggests that these glycosphingolipids might be messing with those eat me signals we were talking about.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they're creating a disguise for the cancer cells. Camouflage.
So instead of acting as fuel, they're like invisibility cloaks, letting cancer cells fly under the radar of the immune system.
That's the theory they're working with. And what's really interesting is the researchers, they found that when they got rid of these specific lipids, the cancer cells were suddenly much more vulnerable. The immune system could actually see them again.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the cancer cells need these lipids to hide. It's not just about energy.
Exactly.
That's wild. Okay, so it's not just that cancer cells are hungry for these lipids, they need them to hide. But how does that even work? Like at the smallest level, what are these glycosphingolipids doing?
Well, we know they can act like scaffolding for certain proteins on the cell's surface.
Scaffolding.
Yeah, like imagine them as signposts.
Okay, I can picture that.
And on these signposts are all these different messages, like
Huh.
telling the immune system what's what.
Okay.
So what they're thinking is that by changing up these glycosphingolipids, the cancer cells are basically changing the messages on those signposts.
So instead of a big flashing sign that says, eat me,
Right.
it's more like, nothing to see here, folks. Sneaky little.
Pretty clever, though, when you think about it.
Yeah, from the cancer's point of view, I guess.
Yes.
It's like a superpower. Almost.
Yeah, and here's where it gets really cool. The researchers didn't just uncover this whole mechanism. They actually found a way that they could mess with it.
Wait, so there might be a way to, like, rip those misleading signposts right off the cancer cells.
That's the idea.
Tell me everything.
Okay, so they tested out this drug.
Okay.
It's already FDA approved, actually.
Oh, wow.
It's used to treat Gaucher disease.
Hold on. So this drug, it's for a totally different disease, but it can mess with the cancer cells' camouflage. How did they even figure that out?
It's funny how research works sometimes. You have these two seemingly totally unrelated things, and then bam, they intersect. So Gaucher disease, it involves a buildup of certain lipids because the body can't break them down properly. And the drug they use to treat it, it works by blocking the production of this one specific glycosphingolipid. And guess what? It's the same type that's involved in that cancer cell camouflage.
No way. So they use this drug to block that specific glycosphingolipid, and that weaken the cancer cells' disguises.
Exactly.
That's amazing. Did it actually work, though?
Okay, so they found that when they used this drug, it significantly messed with tumor growth.
Wow.
And get this, it was especially effective in something called KRAS-dependent cancers.
KRAS dependent.
Yeah, so these are cancers that are driven by a mutation in a gene called KRAS. You see them a lot in pancreatic, lung, and colorectal cancers. And for whatever reason, this lipid camouflage thing, it seems super important for these types of cancers.
So this could be huge for treating those cancers. But I'm guessing more research is needed before they start giving this Goucher drug to every cancer patient, right?
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Right.
It's super promising, don't get me wrong. But they need to do more research to see if this works for other types of cancer, too.
Okay, that makes sense.
But it definitely opens up this whole new path for developing better and more targeted cancer treatments.
I mean, this is major. We're talking about outsmarting cancer at its own game, like figuring out how it's hiding and then using that knowledge against it. But what about prevention? We always hear about how our diet affects our risk of getting cancer. Could this research tell us anything about that? So we've been talking about all this amazing research about how lipids can help cancer cells hide from the immune system.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, what about prevention? We always hear that what we eat can really impact our risk of getting cancer. Could this research help us understand that better?
Absolutely. It's a great question, and it's something the researchers are really interested in looking into. This study just adds to the evidence that what we put into our bodies really matters when it comes to cancer.
Right. It's not just about eating our veggies, although we should still do that.
Of course.
But this is like next level stuff.
Yeah.
Could we actually target specific types of lipids through our diet to like make those cancer cells easier for the immune system to find?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it's something they're still trying to figure out, like how to actually do that in a practical way.
Right.
But this research definitely opens up those possibilities.
Wow, that's really exciting.
It is. Imagine if we could use food to basically boost our immune system's ability to fight cancer.
Exactly. Like giving our immune system night vision goggles to spot those cancer cells.
No.
This is seriously mind-blowing stuff.
It really shows how connected everything in our bodies is, you know? What we eat, how our cells talk to each other, and how well our immune system can do its job. It's all related.
It really is. Well, this deep dive is giving me a lot to think about.
Me too.
What would you say is the biggest takeaway from all of this?
I think the big takeaway is that lipids, they're not just bystanders in this whole cancer story. They're really important players. And by understanding how they help cancer cells hide, we might be able to find new and better ways to treat this disease.
Yeah, it's like we've uncovered this whole secret language that cancer cells use.
Exactly.
And now we might be able to use that language to help patients, which is incredible.
I think so too.
Well, this has been an amazing conversation. So many fascinating insights.
I'll agree.
And for everyone listening, keep thinking about that question we talked about. Could what you eat be a powerful tool in the fight against cancer? It's definitely something to chew on.
Food for thought.
Literally. Okay, until next time, everybody, keep those brains buzzing.